Foals are an English indie rock band from Oxford, England. They are currently signed to Warner Brothers Records. They released their debut album, Antidotes, on March 24, 2008 in the United Kingdom and on April 8, 2008 in the United States. The band's second album, Total Life Forever, was released on May 10, 2010. The band's first mixtape, Tapes, was released on July 3, 2012 as part of the K7 series. Their third album, Holy Fire, was released on February 11, 2013. History. Early history. The lead singer of the band Youth Movies, Andrew Mears, originally formed the band Foals. He was present on the band's debut 7" single, Try This on Your Piano Look at My Furrows of Worry, but left shortly afterwards to concentrate on Youth Movies' debut album, Good Nature. Jack Bevan, Lena Simon and Yanis Philippakis were originally in cult math rock band the Edmund Fitzgerald. The group disbanded, claiming that things had become too serious, and that they wanted to have more fun making their music. Walter Gervers and Jimmy Smith were part of a small Oxford band called Face Meets Grill. They met at and formed the band from members of Abingdon School, the same school that Radiohead attended. They played gigs in and around Oxford, and recorded an EP in Hull. After playing Truck Festival in 2004 they separated to follow different paths and careers. Guitarist Jimmy Smith is the only one of the band members to have completed his degree at Hull University. Each of the other band members quit their respective universities when the band signed to Transgressive Records. The band's musical influences are varied, with the band members citing minimal techno, Arthur Russell, the Irish-based math rock band The Redneck Manifesto, krautrock bands such as Harmonia, Talking Heads, as well for London as their main sources of inspiration. In early 2007, the band released the limited edition 7" singles Hummer and Mathletics, both produced by Gareth Parton. Hummer later featured on the Channel 14 drama Skins, and Spanish Sahara featured in one of their adverts on E4. Antidotes. In the summer of 2007, Foals began working on their debut album in New York. It was produced by Dave Sitek of TV on the Radio. However, the band decided to mix the album themselves, stating that Sitek made the first master copy of the album sound like it was recorded in the Grand Canyon. Yanis Philippakis has stated multiple times during various interviews that Foals and Dave Sitek are on good terms, even though the copy by Sitek was rejected by the band. Foals released their debut album, titled Antidotes, on March 24, 2008 in the UK and on April 8, 2008 in the US. The album was a commercial success in the UK, debuting at number 3 on the UK albums charts. The album was a minor success in other countries, charting in Japan, France and the Netherlands. Non-UK versions of the album include the early Parton-produced singles. Total Life Forever. In August 2009, Foals started recording their second album at Svenska Grammophonstudion in Gothenburg, Sweden. The album, Total Life Forever, has been described by the band members as sounding like tropical prog, and like the dream of an eagle dying. The band have described the album as being a lot less funk than they had originally planned. The album was produced by Luke Smith, formerly of Cla. The album's title is named after an element of Ray Kurzweil's theory of singularity. The band's frontman, Yanis Philippakis, has professed a long-time interest in futurology, with it informing numerous songs on Total Life Forever. On March 1, 2010, the promotional single Spanish Sahara was first played on Zane Lowe's show Radio 1. Foals' new website was updated that night with the release of a video for the track directed by longtime collaborator Dave Marr. On March 6, the Total Life Forever site was officially launched. Puzzles revealed images, lyrics and sound clips of songs from the album. The last clip appeared on March 12, and resulted with a password entry for Foals' new website. The site was opened on March 13 and presented the whole new art concept and media including samples of songs, photos and videos. Lead single This Orient was released on May 3, 2010. The album was finally released on May 10, 2010. Spanish Sahara was featured in trailers for Season 7 of Entourage, Season 4 of Skins and Outcasts, It was also used in the soundtrack of the second season of the E4 drama Misfits. It was released as a full physical single in September 2010, featuring an edited remix starring the Strings of London Contemporary Orchestra. The album was nominated for the 2010 Mercury Prize. In an interview with online magazine Coup de Main, Jimmy Smith said how the band members lived together on and off the road heading to Australia to record demos for their next album together. It's just like touring with your family, it's nice. Holy Fire. On October 19, 2012, Foals announced on their Facebook page that the title of their upcoming third album would be Holy Fire. They announced on October 26, 2012 that Holy Fire would be released in England on February 11, 2013. The album's lead single, Inhaler, received its first radio play on November 5, 2012. They played the song My Number for the first time on Later with Jools Holland. The album was released in both the UK and the US on February 11, 2013. Holy Fire was produced by Flood and Alan Moulder, who have worked with many artists, including Nine Inch Nails, The Smashing Pumpkins and My Bloody Valentine. The album was recorded at Assault and Battery Studios in London. Yanis Philippakis stated that the recording process had some unconventional moments. At one point we even made these poor studio interns collect bones. We were inspired by voodoo, these Haitian rhythms. We collected some ourselves, from butchers in Willesden High Road. Mainly cows, I think often they had gristle and cartilage on them, mainly cow and occasionally sheep. We had to order these big pots because one of the shoulder blades was too big. We boiled the flesh away so we could use them as percussion. We wanted to get primitive. According to The Guardian, their producers, Flood and Alan Moulder, even tricked them by recording their rehearsal in order to capture a more uninhibited sound. In late November to mid-December, Foals toured the UK for an album preview. The tour was supported by Petite Noire. In summer 2013, they attended a number of festivals and headlined Latitude Festival in Suffolk in July. The band have recently played a world and UK tour, which ended with 2 sell-out shows at Alexandra Palace in February. The 2 shows were in stark contrast compared to playing the same venue 7 years earlier to an almost empty room while supporting Block Party, a sentiment which lead singer Philippakis did not fail to mention during the live shows. Holy Fire was nominated for the Mercury Prize in 2013. Q awarded Foals with the Best Live Act award the same year while Inhaler received the Best Track award from NME. Not only this, but in a reader-nominated Best Album of 2013 poll, Holy Fire topped the list. As did single My Number in the Best Song of 2013 poll, beating NME favorites Arctic Monkeys, amongst other acclaimed bands. Forthcoming album. On April 2, 2014, in an interview with NME, Yanis Philippakis said over the next month I think we're going to start writing tentatively. We've already got some bits and bobs around some riffs and some vocal melodies. I think until May we're gonna go back to Oxford and write in the stink box and see what happens. Also, due to the lack of tour dates on their website for the end of 2014, some have speculated that the band is using this time to work on their next album. No date or title for the next Foals album have been confirmed. Live, Foals are recognized as one of the top UK live acts, having won the 2013 Q Award for Best Live Act and twice being nominated for the NME Award for Best Live Act. The band have released several live EPs, in addition to the full-length concert film Live at the Royal Albert Hall, which was directed by Dave Marr. Frontman Yanis Philippakis is known for jumping off balconies and crowd surfing during the extended interlude of Electric Bloom. In October 2013, Philippakis got into a confrontation with a security guard at the Auckland Town Hall in New Zealand, as the security guard attempted to prevent him jumping into the crowd. At the end of the show, Philippakis told the crowd, "I want to say a massive thank you to you and F that security guy." Collaborators, throughout their career, Foals have continuously worked with David Marr, Leif Podajki and Neil Krug for the band's artistic direction. Controversies, echoing the sentiment of artists like David Byrne and Thom Yorke, Yanis Philippakis has stated his disapproval of the streaming service Spotify, I'd rather somebody stole the record on vinyl than bought it or streamed it on Spotify. Because I think you should listen to music on vinyl, and I think basically anything's better than that. Philippakis contends that the royalties earned from streaming services are an insulting pittance, and that it's like going to a restaurant when the chef and all the waiting staff have worked their asses off, and you leave coppers as a tip, and you don't even pay the bill. That's basically what Spotify's like, I think. While accepting the 2013 Q Award for Best Live Band, Yanis Philippakis seemingly took a jab at Alex Turner of the Arctic Monkeys. It shows you don't need a backing track, you don't need affectation, you don't need Elvis Presley impersonations. During the 2013 NME Awards, Rue Reynolds of Enter Shikari tweeted that Foals' performance had put him in a deep sleep, to which Yanis Philippakis replied, "Enter Shikari can go F themselves, trampoline jumping twats." In January 2013, Yanis Philippakis asserted his disapproval of David Guetta. David Guetta is basically, "It's not even something that really makes my blood boil because it is just bullshit. It is an abomination." Members, current members, Yanis Philippakis lead vocals, lead guitar, drums, Jack Bevan drums, percussion, Jimmy Smith rhythm guitar, Rhodes, synthesizer, backing vocals, Walter Gervas bass, sampler, percussion, backing vocals, Edwin Congreve keyboards, synthesizer, backing vocals. Former members, Andrew Mears lead vocals, guitar, discography, studio albums, video, extended plays, singles, notes. The singles were originally released without an album, but were later added as bonus tracks on the album Antidotes. Recognition: Total Life Forever was nominated for the Mercury Prize in July 2010, losing to the XX's XX on September 7 that year. The album was tested again the following year for Best Album in addition to a nomination for Best Cover Artwork at the NME Awards. The single Spanish Sahara was nominated by the same group for Best Track on top of being named all-around Best Band and Best Live Act. In July, the Mojo Honor Awards also nominated Foals alongside Canadian band Arcade Fire for the caliber of their live performances. Mercury Prize, Ivor Novello Awards, NME Awards, Q Awards. References. External links: Official website, Foals on Music Feeds TV, Foals on Twitter.